Burnside picks up, I believe, his second checkered flag of the season. Rick Hardy in the 0 car, Rob Lewis 96, Tim Bravo at 99, Andy Applehands at 09, Al Blanchard 188, Al Lewis 44, Johnny Miller at 80, Joe Bush 101, Al Johnson 22, Scott Baker at 7. Together right now for your sportsman teacher. Here we